on you.
Welcome to another episode of the Don't Be Mad podcast. It's your boy Jamali here with
Jason. What's up?
we got two lovely guests. You know, my boy Flacco is here.
Yo, I didn't hear that name for a minute, bro.
We go way back.
But yo, it's actually Miro, one half of Divvi Productions.
Ashley here, second half of Divvi Productions.
We're glad you guys could join us for this episode.
You want to give a little backstory of
Well, we're just going to chop it up, have a natural conversation.
Yo, for
well,
sure.
full disclosure, you guys were like our first guests.
Yeah.
Was it our first episode that we did?
One of our first
One
episodes.
of the first episodes,
I remember it being one of the first.
Back in the day when we were in the basement.
Yeah, man,
That was sketchy.
it was like a trap house. It was a trap house.
That's not my place. That's Matt's place.
It was too. You guys came to the back entrance?
No, I think we came from
No,
the
it's
front.
different.
I think we came from the front.
Oh, you didn't get the full trap experience.
Nah. But it was dope, man. It was cool.
It's very cozy.
I guess that time we came through because we were doing
Close the Gap or something?
No. The fundraiser event for
Oh, yeah.
yeah. We came through to talk about a fundraiser event that we were doing at that time. But yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, man. So how you guys' week been so far?
Busy, I guess.
Busy.
I guess busy.
Real busy.
Just working on different projects,
Very productive.
Yeah.
No choice.
Trying to be.
No choice. It's on that Mamba mentality grind.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like
That's right.
I'm trying to gather that energy and just make sure that I continue with it, the best way I can.
That's right. Gotta be better than everyone else.
You have to be better than yourself, man.
You got to compete with yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah. So how you guys been since we last saw you guys? Because a lot's been happening. A lot's been going on. How you guys been evolving?
That's such a deep
since the last time we saw you, that was what, 2 years ago?
It was about 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
2 years?
Yeah. That was like our whole growth in that period from then to now, I find.
Yeah, I feel like that time, we were super, young, still trying to figure things out. And, and that period from then to now, so many, lessons learned that kind of bring us to where we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
But when I look back at it, we were super, just, immature in terms of our state of mind, just navigating this whole space and everything. But, yeah.
That's good. I mean, you guys feel you guys did the right moves. You guys are moving in a positive direction from what I see.
Definitely. Well, a lot of growth, so no choice. I mean...
Struggles? Any big struggles?
Struggles. More internally. More, I guess, the struggle from going from where we were back then to where we are today was really internal in terms of, overcoming different mindsets.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You guys should pull through to our workshop. We did a workshop. When was it?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
What, a workshop?
Yeah, McGill.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah. We did a workshop at McGill, and we kind of gave a little background type of beliefs that we had to overcome and the things that we learned throughout this journey, I should say, because I always tell people, people see what we do and they see it it's just wow, you guys are doing all these amazing things, but it's they don't know about the struggle and the pain and everything that goes in behind the scenes that we don't share to the world, right?
Well, exactly. People only see your highlights, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So they only see whether you do something crazy and your beautiful ad campaign that was all over the city.
Yo, we were models. We didn't actually did the campaign. A lot of people think we did the campaign.
Oh, you guys didn't?
No.
But I mean, you guys are talented enough to pull that off. So
no, for sure. Shout out to House of Youth. They're the one who did the campaign, and it's just but even at that, it's just cool that we're able to not only just create things like that, but we can also diversify our hustle and model if we want to. And it's a form of advertisement
Right,
in a way for us, you know.
It's an art form in some ways more than others. But I mean, like, I've known you for years. Well, decades.
Yo, for people who don't know, man, me and Jamal go way back since high school, bro.
Jason too. We go way back. And I mean, all this is not a surprise. You know, we've had conversations for hours. You've always been fashion forward thinking. So, like, I'm not surprised of what you're doing now.
Yeah,
so.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah. I appreciate the support 100%. Like,
you've always been comfortable in your own skin. You've always done things your way. Like, I've never known you to be like, he's doing this because he's been doing. Yeah, you've seen somebody. You always did your own thing. So I'm happy to see you grow into that person because I think it's important. I think the youth need that. I think the culture need it to be able to see people who are comfortable doing what they're doing. Because I think right now we're in a society where it's like sheeps, right? Everybody wants to be like somebody. There's always this constant comparison. Yeah, and this constant need to fit in. You know what I mean? So it's great, man. I love seeing you do your thing.
Yeah,
like,
I appreciate that, man.
And you keep it very organic. Like, I don't think you stretch at anything, so.
You know, like, I appreciate that, you know? Like, obviously I can't do all of this without homegirl right here. Would not be able to, like, fully embrace that energy, you know, if I didn't have, like, a good partner by my side to help me. Like, it's a team effort, you know. You can't neglect that at all, you know.
No. They always say, I think I seen that someone was referring to Obama and they're like, behind every great man is a greater woman. So, I mean, it's a must, right?
That is the first time I think I heard Jamal say something good about Obama.
What?
It definitely might be, and it might be the only time.
Yo. When you do your research, when you look into it, man, like it's, I don't even want to get into that, but like there's things that I read and saw, and I was just like, oh wow, okay, interesting. Puts different things in perspective.
Oh no, most definitely. I think, especially as young people, like I think like we've become so numb as to like what struggle is, what hustle is, especially from a minority group. And I feel like a lot of people have lost like the hustle our parents have. Like, I don't think I'll ever be a great hustler like my mother. Like, my mom worked 2-3 jobs at a time and still raised kids. I don't know how that I don't even have a seed and I'm struggling. You know what I mean? So yeah, you know what I mean? Like what Obama did, what other people are doing, I don't really pay much attention to it more than I have to be mindful of what I'm ingesting as information, because I feel like that slow everybody down and it gives us a false sense of comfort. Yeah. So that's why I'm not an Obama fan.
Fair enough.
I didn't see that going to that. I didn't see that ending there.
No, it's true. Because I feel like we still got to hustle. Like Obama didn't, bring us to the promised land. He's not Moses. For sure.
Yeah.
So that's why. And it's a normal thing. Like, I just don't, me.
Yo, it's all good, bro. It's all good. To each their own, bro.
No,
I feel like what's that thing that I tweeted today? Live and let live.
Yeah. That is the policy I live by strongly.
Like that's something I'm really trying my best to.
You have to
apply.
You have to, because I think we get caught up so much with other things that's going on, and we sometimes neglect our own growth or our own endeavors. You know what I mean? So that's why I was bigging you up on the individuality thing. Because a lot of times people just struggle so much to be a part of something. Yeah. Or to jump on the hot wave that when they look back on it, they're like, what have I done for me? You know what I mean? And that's why I think most people have regrets.
Yeah.
So,
but I think that's one of the reasons why we started doing like the workshops and stuff, like to kind of like
show people
like a different,
show people that they could do different things.
Exactly, and to just embrace that inner thoughts, bro. Because one thing I realized, man, when I was we grew up with a lot of people who were talented, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the lack of representation, especially in like Montreal in general, because it's cool when you can look at it on TV and stuff. When in general, we didn't have people of close proximity that were doing things that we were probably like, probably one of our dudes could have been at like a author, but they never seen like people who look like them in that space doing that stuff. So it's kind of like, all right, so why bother? Like talented people in the hood, bro, who know how to like edit videos and do music videos, bro. Like these people could probably go on and make movies and like TV shows and stuff like that, but it's just because they didn't have that representation. A lot of them just did not fall through with these things, and that's something that me and Ashley really want to change in our space. We want to be that light in other ways to like promote people who look like us to enter this industry, bro. You know what I'm saying?
You guys want to be reachable, because I think I agree strongly with that, because oftentimes we might have ideas, like we've spoken numerous times about certain things, and you reach out to people like that may look like us, that might be for us, but they don't really act with the greatest of intentions, and or even sometimes you don't even know where to start. And I think that's something we need to build in their community, to be able to, okay, like if I have a youth and my kid is interested in art, I'm not artistic at all.
Yeah,
but I could be like, yo, hit Miro up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
and those are the network we need to build. I mean, we've had all these conversations.
Yeah.
And I was gonna ask you the question in regards to that, because in your workshops that you have, because you say you did at McGill, what advice, or what, I'm not gonna tell you like the whole advice, but what good advice would you give to like people either coming out of CJEP or high school who may be looking to get into that space? Because I know when we were in high school, and I'm sure Jamali remembers this, a lot of these teachers say, even if you have bad grades, you go do a trade or go do something else, blah, blah, blah. Kind of, I'm not saying menial jobs, because now when you think about it, those type of jobs are the best type. But I mean, like say someone who wanted to be, like you said, an artist, someone who wanted to do video editing, someone who wanted to be in information technology, what advice would you give them? And they're like in a spot where they seem kind of like down and outs on, that's what they want to do. They just don't have either the confidence or the means to get to it.
Yeah, well, a lot of the time, like when that happens, it's because we grew up with these thoughts by either coming from ourselves or our parents or the people around us telling us like you can't do this, or it's not a safe route, and like we've been told this so many times, but at the end of the day, you kind of have to. It's kind of easier said than done, but it's really about reprogramming your mind, reprogramming the thoughts that you allow to shape your reality. And also, being very conscious and mindful that like sometimes the negative thoughts that you have aren't even your own, and just being very aware that you have a choice. You get to choose how you let them affect the choices that you're going to make in regards to your life and everything. So yeah, and that's kind of what our workshop was about, actually. We were really talking about how you can't let your limiting beliefs stop you from pursuing what you want to pursue, especially like in the creative scene, in the creative world, because like I said, like creative work is not seen as something that's valuable,
right?
And it actually really is. And especially for people like minority groups or people who come from different ethnic backgrounds, because our parents came here and had to work super hard and assure like a certain level of stability, they want the same thing for their kids.
Right.
But sometimes that's not necessarily like, they did their job of making it easier for us so that we can do what we want. We can take those risks that they weren't able to take.
Definitely.
That's good. Yeah.
For me, where I would add to that is also like, like in terms of like the best advice, I would say it is like, which is cool now. It's just that like the access of information, you know what I mean? Especially on YouTube. I feel like YouTube is so golden because like, it's like even when I went, like you could go online and like find like a mentor.
Yeah.
Like there's people who put out information there, and you could like subscribe to their channel and see all the information that they put out. And it's so weird because it's like yesterday on Sunday she had a family get together, and I went there, and there was one of the kids there, and he's like He's like probably
like
8. He's like 8 years old, whatever, and he had a sketchbook and he draw an eye, but the eye was so well drawn. I can't believe he drew that. I was like, it was very detailed. So I'm like, where do you learn to draw? He's like, YouTube. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, oh, I follow this person on YouTube and he has videos and he shows how to draw.
Crazy.
That's nuts.
He's 8, bro. That's crazy. You
Like
know?
the opportunities are endless.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, like I feel like that's the best advice. If you have mentors, like find like mentors online. You know what I'm saying? Like follow and just study those people and also like create your tribe, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's huge, bro. Like, because if you're not surrounded by other people who could like
add value,
who have the same value as you, you know, you guys don't have to have the same goals,
right?
But you guys can have the same values in terms of like just the same values and also like push each other,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like what's that saying there? Like
steel sharpens steel.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's how it goes. You know what I'm saying? So those are like the best advice I would personally give, honestly. Like,
and how do you guys manage like people projecting their own fears onto you guys? Like you might have like an idea and they'll be like, yo, don't do it, because they themselves are afraid to even start that process or even attempt their journey to, I guess, some sort of, self-realization.
Speaking for myself, I've never, I can't even really answer that question properly because like I've never really cared about it's kind of like mean to say, but about like if my mom or had something negative to say or was projected like a worry, not necessarily negativity, but worry onto what I'm doing. Cause I just was very like go with the flow. I think I'm gonna make it work no matter what. And yeah, so I can't really like answer that.
Yeah, like I feel like before like other people's opinions and like insecurities, like when they project that onto me, it would like get to me because it would make me second guess, you know? But now like I'm really at a space right now where it's just like I know where that is coming from that person. So now my automatically think it's very automatic when someone tells me like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this or don't do this, whatever. I could tell it's out of fear and I know where it's coming from. So it's just like, okay, this person's insecure. Their own insecurities is coming up and I can't take it personal, but I'm going to do what I'm going to got to do. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? So it's like, now it's kind of drilled into my head where it's just like, bro, I've been practicing doing what the fuck I wanted to do for some time now. I'm kind of getting good at it, bro. Not going to lie. I'm kind of getting good at it, bro. You know? And yeah, man, trusting my instincts, I should say, you know?
Yes. So I was going to ask you a question. Since you guys, to me, are like natural entrepreneurs, that's how I see it as. How do you guys generate like new ideas? Because obviously, yeah, everyone has, you could say with a simple term for it is like writer's block or something like that. But how do you guys
keep yourself going,
keep yourself
ideas
going,
flowing,
keep the ideas flowing, come up with something new, and not stay stagnant?
You have to, when I get blocks, like I stop creating. I allow myself to take a break, give my brain a break and be bored. Cause a lot of the times, like let's say like we're creating something or trying to come up with ideas for something, you're so desperate to find that idea and that new thing that you kind of like overwork your brain, you overwork yourself and it becomes forced.
Right.
And anything that you come up with in those moments, it just like, it's not as good because it's just forced, you know? So when that happens and I feel like, okay, like I've been repeating, let's say a logo sketch for like an hour now and it's not going anywhere. I'm like, at this point I'm forcing it. I'm like, that's when I know that, okay, I need to take a break, because when I like allow my brain to just like rest, it's in those like subconscious moments of rest that
the idea
it's
come
actually
to you.
working,
Yeah.
you know, things are actually happening. And then the next day, that's when the best shit comes out. That's when the best ideas come out.
Nah, that's true. Because I see you do that a lot.
Yeah, like I won't force myself. I'm like, okay,
Does
like
that
it's
a
not
lot.
working. I'm not gonna force it. I'm just gonna stop and do something else. And then the next day it comes to me. Like I don't put that pressure on myself to like get it right away. Like I allow myself to just chill and like not feel guilty about not getting it right away, you know?
Me, what do I do to keep like basically inspired, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you look outwards a lot.
What do you mean?
Like you look in places where that are unexpected. Like you look at like let's say if
Different
we
industries
yeah,
and stuff.
different
Yeah, that's what I'm
industries,
doing. I'm big on that, you know, because like, for example, like you know, right now, like we operate in a space where it's like all about culture, you know, but like culture incorporates so many things, you know.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, we're in branding, designing, and everything. Like we work with artists and stuff like that. But it's just like I could look at the tech world and get inspired and find things there and just be like, oh, you know what? That's a new way of thinking that I could just apply. I could just bring it to my world,
There
or
you go.
you know, like the food industry. No matter which industry, politics, anything, you could just like.
Mhm.
When I consume that type of medium, I'm always learning something new. Because sometimes when we're in our bubble of just like aesthetics, art, you know, like we're just in that typical art bubble, but not realizing that like art as a whole, there's so many things. So I look at different industries a lot. That's something that helps me like
Stay inspired.
get ideas and stay inspired, bro. 100%, you know. I watch a lot of cartoons too, bro. You know what I'm saying?
As
Like-
per usual.
but it's so jokes because like cartoons, bro, it's you know, like it's literally because like it's like children, bro. Children has like this an infinite imagination and no boundaries, and you see that in
Yeah.
cartoons a lot.
Yeah.
You know, like one of my favorite shows is Rick and Morty, bro. Like
Really?
I love that show, bro. You
Greatest
know?
show. One of the
I'm
greatest
not
cartoons.
surprised.
Rick and Morty's hilarious, man.
But it's so smart and just the way they just bring out ideas and just no boundaries. I like that. So it's like I got inspiration from that too. You know, just different ways of just.
Yeah. To me, Rick and Morty is like a cartoon version of Seinfeld.
I never got into Seinfeld, so I can't even.
Oh, you
I
never seen
never
Seinfeld?
thought that comparison before.
it kinda
She
is to
watched
me.
it. She watches it. You watched it a few
Well,
times.
I've watched like I kind of like grew up in a household where Seinfeld would be on the TV.
I never got
Yeah.
into it. I never got into it.
Did you? I hope you didn't get into Friends though. That's terrible.
No.
No.
I wasn't. I wasn't.
never
I
watched
wasn't in those
Friends
type
before.
of shows, man. Like,
No, that's good. It's very difficult. Like for example, like we live in Montreal, where you know all the people. I know we had talked about this before, but a lot of people in Montreal or who have a certain amount of talent or anything like that, they usually leave Montreal. They go to Toronto or
Mhm.
somewhere in the States to kind of build their success. In a way, I understand it's, you know, it makes sense because, you know, resources are available to you, more resources over there. But the people who I see in Montreal who really focus and really try, they usually end up in a very positive space. For example, we have that director who that movie Blade Runner. The newest
okay.
one.
Yeah.
His movie was artistically, like, I know a lot of producers and directors from Montreal and everything like that, but his vision of that movie, it actually looked more like the future than the first Blade Runner actually would look like.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people from Montreal in general have a lot of this talent, but you know, they don't have the necessary drive or motivation or confidence to get to that point. For you guys, what are things that, you know, I would say, what are your fears in, I wouldn't say like fears of not having success because you guys have success, but what do you fear?
But what do you but let them
do you
define
fear?
success first.
Yeah, what do you define your success? And then what would you say other than that?
You want to go first?
How do you define success?
Your success.
Or how do you see success?
Success. I don't think I'm ever going to feel like I'm ever going to reach a point in my life where I feel like, oh, I'm successful now. I think that like I'm not chasing that thing, that
Right.
feeling, that like summit, that star at the top of the Christmas tree. Like I think that for me, like I'm successful as long as I'm continuing to grow and push my own boundaries. So as long as I'm doing that, then I'm always going to be successful, because I'm never going to get comfortable, and I'm never going to stop. I think for me, no matter what it is you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
as long as you're pushing yourself and your boundaries and like always chasing growth, then you're successful.
Yeah. Like for me personally, like I feel like success has been changing. Like the definition of success has been evolving a bit, you know, like a few years ago, like I was just be like, oh, you know what? I want to, success to me was equal by like monetary value. I'm like, okay, well, that's not gonna bring anything, you know? And it's like now where I am right now, like for me, like success is really like to really be in a space where it's just like I can create, you know what I'm saying? Success to me is the fact that like, you know, like mentally I'm in a good space, like taking care of myself. That's a form for me. It's a luxury. So
Right.
that's success. Now I'm seeing success in these small things, like, you know, the ability is like, oh, to call my mom. That's, you know, to me, that's success right there. Cause I'm like, and to be able to like help change someone else's life, especially younger people, you know what I'm saying? Like the youth and stuff like that. I want to be able to like, just give them like some fire and just make them just go out there and, you know, plant seeds, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, that's what's my definition of success is solidifying, bro. It's these things that's like, you know, like we kind of take for granted. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely.
Like to me, that's what success, to be able to handle all of that and to enjoy those things.
The process. I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, but that's success.
I didn't understand the fear part, the fear question though. Like,
So, like, maybe rephrase it so I can make it better. Like, what what could you say you would avoid, like mistakes you've made in the past that you would tell people, or you know, let people try to avoid any mistakes that you've made over the course of your careers and doing your and handling your business. What do you think? What are some of the things that you would let them know to avoid, or any precaution that you can give these people to like not fall into the same any, you know, mistakes that you had, or help them avoid certain situations to get into?
Don't take shit personal. That's right away. Don't take things personal.
Yeah.
It's just business at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if we have a difficult client who wants, I shouldn't say difficult, it's a client who knows what they want and they're just in their own vibe or anything of that nature, and it's like, okay, they constantly want to change something or whatever the case may be, and we're presenting a work to them, and to us it's like you know, it's Picasso right there, and
Right.
and the person we're working with, they're like, no, I don't like it, you guys didn't do it properly, like I want this change. And then you're like, no, but this is amazing. What are you talking about? You know, in the past, I'll make that get the best of me.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
Yeah.
like, why am I shouldn't be fighting with this person. You know what I'm saying? This is someone I'm doing business with, and they know what they want. So like, I have to know to put that on the side. Like, it's not about me. It's about the project. The project has to get done, and the person we're working with has a vision. So we have to align ourselves with that instead of trying to project our own personal artistic critique. So that for me, that's the main thing. Don't take things personal. Keep it professional 24/7. Like big thing, bro. You know?
I would say, adding on to that, I would say, like, be responsible for yourself. Like, take full accountability for yourself and for your L's and your wins. So like, let's say somebody screws me over. It's easy for me to be like, oh, fuck that person. Like, it's their fault. They're a bad person. They're a bad client. They screwed me over. I'm the victim of this situation. But we learned to take those situations as something that we need to work on. So for example, when those things happened, we looked back at ourselves and told ourselves, okay, what can we do? What can we change to avoid these mistakes happening in the future? So it's really like
taking your L's and making them lessons, right?
Exactly. And taking taking accountability, not blaming external factors, even if it isn't your fault.
Right.
Always try to find a way to take accountability and to own the situation and to make the best out of it.
That grows your character.
Yeah.
That's
like
really,
putting your ego aside.
That really changes your mind, like your way of operating. If you look at a situation, it's like not like just piling it, oh, it's all my fault. It's just like, yo, I messed up. What can I do to not make this happen again?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's really that, you know?
Well, it forces you to look inside, right?
Yeah.
It forces, because it's easy to, like, if I'm like, this person did this, you know what I mean? It forces you to just put the situation to the side. It's always linked to that one person.
Yeah.
And you don't grow, right? I think a lot of time it's easy to do that. The easy route is to be like, this happened because of this person, or this situation is what led me into this, as opposed to looking within ourselves to see why we landed there.
Yeah, I feel like nowadays, like, probably it's because, like, getting older, but I feel like right now we're spiritually as a people, I feel like a lot of us are start asking our questions, like, more internally. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like when I was just telling you, like, the whole definition of, like, success, like, now I'm just looking at things internally, because I realize if I'm good internally, everything else, I can maneuver everything else. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can maneuver any situation because I'm good internally, Right. So it's like, I feel like everyone, like, just, I don't know, talking about this conversation is making me think about, like, how, like, just everyone is just, like, really on that, like, self-discovery,
I think it's necessary. I think if it's one thing I could say, like, like I told you, I'm 33 in a few months.
Yeah.
Like, I'm starting to realize the little things that matters, like waking up, like, to me, like, that's mad, like, a blessing, like, no, I'm dead serious. Like, before I used to wake up and I never thought about it.
Yeah.
And then, like, in 2008, one of my uncle got shot. Unfortunately, he passed away.
Yeah, my condolences.
Yeah. I think we spoke about it. Yeah. I'm for sure we spoke about it. But, like, it was one of those things where I'm just like, yo, you know what? It's a blessing to see you next day. But, like, when you go through those phases, it happens, and then you think about it, and then you lose it because you're caught up on something else. But now, like, every morning, like, even if I'm late, I try to take 30 minutes just to, like, be like, yo,
yeah,
it's a good day. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you have to keep in mind, like, you woke up and there's someone in the world who did not wake up this morning. That time when you're just getting up right now, you're just like, oh shit, there's someone who just passed away right now.
That's why the last couple of weeks there, when Kobe passed away, it hit everyone hard, because they were like, this dude is the ultimate superhero. People thought after the crash, Kobe would just walk out the crash like it was nothing.
That would have been dope, though. I'm not gonna lie.
No, but it's true. A lot of people thought that, and a lot of people, it's helped them re-examine their own mortality, think about their own life, and seeing, oh shit, this dude who we look up to, we thought was invincible, is just a regular man like everyone else. So you had a lot of people rethinking their lives, rethinking how they should carry themselves, what they should do in life. Same thing you're talking about, like, every little thing is a blessing. Yeah. You gotta, enjoy life to the fullest as much as possible, and not take everything too seriously.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah, I think we live too much with this, like, comfortable aspect of life. Like, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Tomorrow is always gonna be there, and you're just like, nah, bro. Like, you could assure yourself now, like. Yeah.
That's so
you know what
true.
I mean? Like, that's it. Like, I think even with you guys' perspective on success, I think being successful for me is really maximizing every opportunity in that moment. Like, it's not a destination. It's really a journey.
Yeah.
There's highs and lows with it. And, like, I think it's just embracing every moment. Because I feel like oftentimes, like you said, we've had conversations where, like, you feel so low because whether your success in school or whatever, you didn't finish something, your mom's not too happy with it. Or, you might choose to make a decision that's going to cause you to not be around certain people. And then, people are like, oh, this person switch up. And it's just like, you often think like, oh my God, like, am I making the right decision? And more you go through these like, I guess, stages, you start to realize like, yo, it's all about internally getting right so you could be better externally. You could have a more positive impact on others.
Yeah. That's big.
Because I think that's everybody's goal at some point in life is to be impactful. Because no matter how rich you are, no matter how poor you are, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
But it's like what you leave behind. You know what
legacy,
I mean?
bro.
Legacy.
That was my word for like January. Like that was a big thing.
Wasn't it for like 2020?
Yeah, just in general, just legacy.
That's your word for life.
Because it's true. It's because it's like, yo, when you're gone, how you want to be remembered. You know what I'm saying? That's how I've been looking at like life. Is just like what are people gonna say about me? You know what I mean? What is like. I don't know. These are thoughts that just pass by my head all the time. And I feel like just as a whole, like we should all be thinking about this, like, but it's just because the day-to-day life is easy to just put down the back burner because, we live in a matrix, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is because they don't want people to think like this, bro. That's how I look at it.
But even in like the simple gestures, you know what I mean? Like you don't have to be a Kobe Bryant, you have to be, a massive star. But like you could literally be that person in the office that you work at that people are just happy to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you could be just that person and that is a crazy legacy to leave behind.
Yeah.
Because you're impacting a handful of people and, like your name's going to all be brought up. Oh, you remember such and such? And it's not even just to that. Like we progress in life. Like how much of us have different jobs that we've all been through? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like just impacting somebody in that very moment, I think is key. Like,
but that's why when you see like a lot of athletes and stuff, like they get pissed off when they don't make the Hall of Fame because that's their legacy. That Hall of Fame is for them. They know they did something great. They know that that's where they're going to be enshrined forever, that you're going to remember them forever. And like, at first I was thinking, oh, you don't have to worry about the Hall of Fame. Your individual stats are going to make you get there. But for them, it's something big because I think it's even more bigger than how many championships you win. If you're in the Hall of Fame, you're going to be remembered for life.
But that's a problem though. Yeah. For me, that's where I can't, like, even like with the whole T.O. scandal, right?
Yeah. When
like
he wouldn't
the fact
make it
that they didn't induct him long enough. And then you see Kobe's situation, like normally it's like a 3 to 5 year span and then you start getting consideration. And it just, to me, like, I feel like, just like, when you're 30 as a woman, you need to be married with kids, or as a man, you need to have a home, you need to do all sorts of shit. Yeah. I think those are societal values. Yeah. And they give you these things that they could afford to affect you emotionally. Like you're saying, you don't take shit personal. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't make the Hall of Fame, I get it. You worked 10 years, 12 years, you did a lot of shit. But at the end of the day, you got to do something you love. I think that's your Hall of Fame right there.
For me, legacy is so much bigger than that, though. Like, to have that mentality that your legacy only counts if it's in this big
valued by
repertoire of whatever. Yeah, like I love what you were saying about it's like in the little things, those little gestures, like that. That's so true. Like your legacy lives on in all the people that you meet every day, like just smiling at your cashier, like your local cashier, that might make their day. I know. Like anytime I run into someone who's just genuinely nice or goes out of the way to be nice, like it totally makes my entire day. And I remember those people. I think about those people, and I'm just one person. Right. But like that has a ripple effect more than you know.
There you go.
Those little things, like they totally influence people more than you know. I remember like we went to the optometrist, this eyeglasses place. Yeah. The guy went out of his way to like be super nice, like get me an appointment at this optometrist that like I would have had to wait 3 months for, but he called her up personally and like was just super, super nice. And that totally made our day, totally changed our mood. And because we were in a good mood that day, like who knows what that might have affected, you know?
Right. I personally think that's where you live though.
Huh?
I personally think a situation like that is where you live.
Yeah.
Because I know in Montreal, Quebec per se, it's not necessarily like that. But if you go other places, there are a lot of people that go out of their way to, you know, be pleasant with you.
I
say
mean, these
hi
things
to
happened
you.
here though, so I don't know.
That's rare then. That's very rare if it happened here.
But even like where we grew up, you know, like we would look at it like as a negative spot. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
oftentimes, like I talk to people and they're like, "Yeah, I grew up in NDG, Uptown, Côte d'Ash. What is it like growing up there? Like, bro, it's not a zoo, fam. You know, I people get like even my mom when I like if I had kids, I'll send them to the same high school we went to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
You really want to send them back to St. Louis?
hell yeah.
They have uniforms there, no? Are they?
Bro, do you understand how much of a positive impact that have like on all three of us? Like if we were to literally sit down and dissect our experiences that we've had individually, I'm sure it shaped us for the better than
You're
the
absolutely
worse.
right. I think that's good. I think the people who I met at St. Luke were probably some of the greatest things ever. But the institution as itself, that I did not like.
We can't control that.
I'm pretty sure it's different now, though. I'm pretty sure they don't have the same administration and things
Yeah,
like that.
all that
like,
thing probably changed
But that
around a lot.
sucks, bro. You know how many times I love going to Loisis? I wonder if that room's still there. They used to give us apples and give us checkerboards. You could play games.
Yo, that was a spot where it's like where like you go there when like you can't go to class.
Yeah.
Like the teacher doesn't want you in class.
I know.
And
I had
like
those
they don't want to
days.
send you home, so they send you to this little office. And I forgot what was a girl.
Madame Poisson. How do you Madame
Oh yeah,
Fish?
bro.
Poisson.
Yeah, that was her name.
Wow.
Madame Hélène Poisson. You know, I spent probably several months of my high school life there, bro.
No, it was cool, bro. It was cool. But like definitely, like yo, just in general, school institutions need to change, bro. Like one thing I could say that was very appreciated, bro. Like the program that we went to at McGill,
Right.
it was pretty interesting because
Absolutely.
the teachers that we had, like you know, they were actually like
Real life.
you know, business owners and stuff like that. So they have real life experience, you know.
Experiences, right.
So that was interesting, but still like the whole like test exams and just the whole overall academic structure
Right.
is just like, you know what I mean? Because everyone learns different, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it's built for people who learn in a specific way. You know what I mean?
But that's like, or like I'll ask you the question. Do you think the system is broken?
100%, bro. What do you
I don't
mean?
think it's broken, bro. I think it's functioning the way it's supposed to. It was designed to. And that's
Okay,
where,
okay, in that sense,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you're looking at it from that perspective, I could get it, but it's still fucked, bro. You know, that's
But
how
like-
I look at it.
right.
It's still fucked because there's some people who I could say like, you know what I mean? It's like, bro, like a couple years ago, like having a college degree was worth something. You know,
now it's not worth much.
or like bachelors and stuff, like it worth something. But now we live in a day and age where these things don't really mean much, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's very common now. It's common, you know?
It's true. Like I was even like, you know, I was talking to my sister, like I was telling you earlier, and I was having this conversation because she's not interested in that, and I think in a way she kind of feel bad about it because my older sisters, we all went to like higher education, and I was just like, bro, like, screw that.
Yeah.
Like, where a college degree could have been effective for my older sisters and for myself in some way, I don't think it affects certain generations or generations to come, especially in the wider range of fields. Because you have, like you said, you could learn a lot from Google, YouTube, and you could pretty much sustain yourself if you have that drive. It has to come from within, where I feel like previous years or decades ago, academic structures put people in favorable positions.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we were forced to do it.
Yeah.
Go to school, you're going to be better. But then shit started to change.
What is better?
The internet came about.
Yeah, that's
And then it's like, you don't have that opportunity anymore. Now you got to go and discover things.
It's like, you know, like I laugh about this all the time. Like, you know, Ashley's role in Divvi Productions, she's creative director. She's owner and creative director. But it's just like working, like, what's to become a creative director?
Yeah,
What is it?
Yeah,
Explain.
basically like in school, just like basically school, it's created to make it. It has a specific purpose, you know, at the end. Like you come out and you come out filling a specific role and a specific purpose. So like me, when I did my 3-year program in graphic design, you know, if you're a graphic designer, you could become a freelancer, you could start your own agency, or you could work for an agency. But the program was created to mold you into an agency worker. Definitely. I had no idea, you know, like how to be a freelancer. I didn't learn how to start my own graphic design agency. Like, and those are things that I could have learned. Why not? It's in the field. It's in the same world. So yeah, like you were saying, basically like to become a creative director, you know, they were telling us in school, like, oh, you need to work for an agency for like 10 years. And then you kind of climb that ladder to become a creative director with years of experience. And yeah, obviously experience is important, but like, we kind of created, you know, me, if I'm coming out of school and I want to start my own business, I'm not going to not call myself what I'm doing, the role that I'm playing, because that's my role. And just because I didn't do it in the way that I was taught or that was conventionally like accepted doesn't mean that it's not valid.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think that's what happens, because like I think a lot of us get tied up with this whole like, you know, the institution tells you this is what it is and this is what you must follow. Yeah. And we just follow that to the T, you know? And like some of us don't ask questions beyond that. Yeah. And that's where it becomes dangerous, bro. It's the people who don't try to ask questions beyond this and just try to like, okay, like this is a tool, how I'm gonna finesse it. You know what I'm saying? Like now when we have kids and I'm gonna send them to school if they choose to go to, I'm just gonna tell them like, yo, all those people starting up businesses, Go be friends with them. Yeah. Go. Me, the grades it's whatever, bro. You could get your 60s. I don't care, bro. But go there and build up your network. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's the most valuable thing. There's so much resources that's available outside of the academic side of things that a lot of us don't really take advantage of. You know, like when we were going to school, like when we were at McGill, bro, there was probably some people in our classes who were like legit, like on some shit. Yeah, you know? For sure. But we never took the time to like network with those people, because a lot of times when you're in university, everyone is really to themselves, bro. Oh, for sure. Like study, grades, leave. That's it. You know, and it's just like, nah, you shouldn't be using school like that. You should really take the time and like network with those people and exchange numbers.
I wish that I knew that. Like you know looking back now,
that's a skill that we're not taught. I was never taught that in school before. Yeah. Like, yo, take your time and network with the people in your institution.
Even reaching out to professors, like one of our international business professors. Yeah, his sister was the head of was either marketing for Zara. Wow. You remember he was telling us like how they were doing all that.
Yeah, I remember.
And it was just like, I don't know what it is. I think we're also built to kind of like, I don't know if it's a people of color mentality, but like we don't try to seek opportunity like that way. We try to like get it from the mud and like find hard ways to like grind for it.
I was gonna say that like school is essentially designed to be it's molding you to be a factory worker. Yeah. So it's designed to put you in your place in that factory, so you do this task and making someone else rich instead of making yourself rich. So like even it was Christina's dad who keeps saying this, that you can't be rich working for someone else. Nah, bro. You can't make money working for someone else. You have to actually have to have your own business, create your own thing. And I think a lot of schools, especially nowadays, high school especially, they don't teach you to think for yourself or do things for yourself or like start a business for yourself. There are some schools that are designed for that, where you know you work and you study as well, you gain that professional experience. But school in general is just to find your place in a whatever factory, business, whatever. So they put you in that place and you do that work for until you die. But if you start now with stuff like YouTube, Google, you essentially after high school, you don't really need to go to school after that. If you're a person who has, like you said, drive and passion, you're gonna be successful. You're gonna be successful. Discipline is a big thing. If you have the discipline to do it, you can be successful.
Definitely.
Networking, man. I'm telling you.
But also, I feel like in the beginning of our lives, most of us don't have the proper nurturing stages where we go through where we're encouraged to be ourselves. Like, oftentimes, I know for sure everybody's experienced it. Like, oh, why don't you be like this person? Or, you know, we have like these levels that, or people were compared to at some point that we kind of have to live up to or surpass, or, you know what I mean? And it's like the ideology, like you think of a mother whose kid was like, I don't know, got his first Sega Genesis and was intrigued by the gaming concept. Like, if she allowed that kid to like discover that world, could have been a leader in something.
Yeah.
But instead, he was probably shunned. No, you're not going to be nothing. All you do is play video games.
Yeah.
And then you almost start putting negative stereotype in people's head.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, you know, eventually, that's a part of projecting your
For
fears.
sure.
Yeah.
But you know, all that comes from the lack of representation, bro. You know,
Information.
because them themselves did not have like role models that look like them that were showing them these opportunities. So they have certain habits that were passed on to us.
Yeah.
But now we're exposed to so much that like now if your kid wants to like become a gamer and make a living off that, you're not gonna look at it like, yo,
You can do it now.
Yeah.
bro, like, no, that's
Yo,
not a
those
dumb
gamers
idea.
are-
Because there's guys out here who's making M's yearly, bro, just playing
More than doctors, bro.
competition,
Yeah.
you know, and like, you know, they're developing into different personalities, and just like other gaming companies are hiring them to be like consultants on video games, and it's just like
Crazy.
the opportunity is endless right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now that we're exposed to that, like we'll be able to show our kids different, and they are gonna show their kids even more different, because there's gonna be something else that's completely
I mean,
different.
you think of the world what it is now.
Yeah.
Like, I remember in high school, like, no one had a cell phone.
Yeah.
Like, you had, like, very few people had cell phone here and there.
I remember you had that huge ass sidekick.
Don't hate on my Don't hate on my phone.
High
Jamali
school?
always had big phones, bro.
Jamali was-
yeah, his excuse would be like,
Yeah.
yo, I'm a big guy, so I have to have a big phone. And it's true, because now I'm looking at it, I'm like, yo, if you did have a tiny phone, it'd be kind of weird, bro.
No,
It
but
makes sense.
Jamali was like one of the first people to get a sidekick. And
Yeah, I mean, well, those
in high
are the
school.
days, you know? But, like, even then, like, look at the world we live in, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
who would have known? Like, we thought MSN was it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I
I
used to
still
rush
miss
home
it,
after
though.
school for
Crazy.
MSN. Now it's like I can make a WhatsApp call to, like, my cousin,
Bruh.
and it's just like we're there face to
Bruh.
face, and it's just like
Bruh.
amazing.
Bruh.
So
Can't
Bruh.
imagine.
I could imagine what 25 years from now
Yeah.
will be.
Yeah,
like.
yeah,
Even,
yeah.
Even-
in 10
yeah.
years.
Yeah.
2025,
Yeah.
who knows? You never know what's gonna happen. But I think that's important for people to, you know, build characters within themselves, because it's easy to get discouraged nowadays.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Sure.
more so, and it's like you look at other people and you're just like, what's like, I don't know if you guys do it, but I look at people, I'm like, what's their driving force? Like, what is their what would they, where do they find purpose? You know what I mean? And why did they go so hard? Like, I follow this dude Eric Thomas. I don't know if you heard of him. E.T. The hip hop preacher, I think he goes
Okay.
by. And like this guy, like his story is just amazing. But it's just like just the way he grind, it's crazy. You know what I mean? And oftentimes, like, you know, you were saying before, people see the highlights and they want it, but they don't know the grind that goes with it. You know, like maybe sleepless nights, or how many times someone told you no before you got that first yes, or you know what I mean, or just believing in yourself while other people don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's why, but you know, like you mentioned this like a few times already, but like the whole comparison thing, like that's something that like we talk about a lot, like the whole, like, you know, especially like, you know, it's easy to look at someone and always compare yourself as like, oh my God, this person's living the life, whatever. But again, you don't know what went behind the scenes, bro.
Right.
And another person's path does not define your path. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And like, even now, it's just like, because of Instagram and everything like that, it's so accessible. It's so easy to just like go on your timeline, just compare yourself to someone right away. But honestly, sometimes you have to put on that, like, you have to have tunnel vision, bro,
Oh, you
because of
have
like that's a hole that I went through already, where it's just like I was constantly comparing my, like, oh, I'm not doing enough, or I'm not good enough, or whatever the case may be, because I'll see someone else and to me they're doing a lot better, and it's just
Right.
like, nah, bro, like look at 2 Chainz, bro. You know what I'm saying? You don't think he felt a way like, yo,
Titty
he's
boy.
an older rapper, and you see all these young dudes coming in, making having a certain level of success,
Right.
And he then got discouraged because of that. He's just like, yo, I'm just gonna rebrand myself and come back, boom. And and that's what he did, bro, you know? And it's just like, sometimes you really, to me, I'm pretty sure he just put on his tunnel vision and he's just like, yo, I'm just doing me. I'm just doing it my way. Boom, boom, boom. I'm not looking anywhere else, you know?
Well, it's true, because I mean, you look at that whole DTP squad, there were like 6-7 guys that was there, and he's the only one. Nelly and from like the whole what do they call it again?
Saint Lunatics.
Yeah, like no one came out of it.
Yeah.
Murphy Lee tried, but like it's really don't laugh. But it's true. The 2 Chainz are a great example of someone who just was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah, bro. You can't constantly compare yourself, bro, and it's very. Bro, when I look at like kids who are growing up now, that's the thing that worries me the most, bro, because like, you know, we experience it, but I can imagine like kids who are growing up in that environment already, like 5 years old, you have Instagram, fuck it, you know, and you're seeing everything there, and it's just like, oh man, like people are living wonderful lives, like my life is boring, you know, and some people might. How do you tell a kid not to do that, bro? You know, like that's a conversation that like us as a society, as a culture, need to have more often. Because like I said, like when you're younger, it's hard for you to differentiate what's real and what's not. You know, at least us, there's a certain level of maturity that we could just like, okay, you know what? This is not what it is. Right. But someone who's a lot younger, they're not gonna understand that.
It is very dangerous. When you think of it, like, you know, for especially for females, I think they're the ones who suffer the most from that. And now we see dudes getting affected by it. Yeah. And it's just like, it's scary to think that some people could literally just hate themselves, not because they don't like themselves, but because of what they see and the way they put their standards behind. And that's sad. It's beyond scary. It's just sad.
Yo, but it's a conversation that we have to have, though. I feel like that's a big conversation that's going to happen more as the years to come. You know, like right now it's starting to happen, but I feel like the next couple of years we're going to really see the full, like,
effects of social media.
The effects of, like...
I feel like in a couple of years, social media is going to be like cigarettes was.
No, I think it already is.
Back, you know?
I feel like it already is.
I think it's already there.
Already is, but we're not banning Instagram.
Oh, okay.
And, I think it's just the way how you use it. If people there are people who know how to use Instagram or social media positively and properly. It's just that there are people who, like, you know, they go overboard on it just for clout.
It's true.
It's just sometimes you gotta, like, if you can create like a filter or something like that. Like people say, like Twitter. There's a Twitter and there's Black Twitter. We know what the difference is between both of them. And if there was an actual Black Twitter, I would go on that because it's just for fun and games. But on actual Twitter, you see a whole bunch of bullshit. You can see some stuff that are fake. Black Twitter is just like...
Yeah, but you see the thing what you're saying is that you could differentiate it. The problem is, how do you have a 13-year-old girl who might be, you know, conceptualizing herself. She haven't even matured yet. Yeah. And then she's comparing herself to like a 25-year-old woman.
Well, that's like a parental issue then.
That's not a parental thing, bro.
Nah,
that's
bro,
a societal thing.
But what I'm saying it's a parental issue as an individual is that you are the parent. You know who these Instagram models are. You like, okay, I can recognize this is bullshit.
That's
so
why
you can tell your kid, all right, I'm going to tell you the truth about this. You tell them the truth of what they... Kids are very smart. Don't take them for stupid or anything. They're very smart. You tell them the truth about something, and you don't sugarcoat anything for them because they're very. I'm sure you're talking to little kids. They're very direct when they talk. You have to be exactly the same way with them. I'm not saying you have to curse at them or anything like that, but show them what this is fake, and they're gonna understand it.
Speaking from my experience, though, like I grew up like, no, I'm not gonna lie, like we idolize drug dealers. I could tell you that.
I don't know about
straight up. Nah, bro. Like I remember growing up and like the dudes on the block who had like the newest kicks, they had gold, they had everything. Yeah, you'd be just like, yo, like let me get on that hustle. Like that's facts. You know what I mean? And like those are people that I could touch and see. Yeah, and I knew the danger. That wasn't stupid. I knew like, yo, you get booked. That's it.
Yeah, but that's the difference between you. There are people who are imitating that, but you just like that. You didn't.
No. But I mean, I think most people who then imitate started from where I was. I I probably just had the ability to constrain myself from making that other leap. And that leap is very easy, especially when you're a male, a black male between 12 to 17.
And then I put good parenting because you had good parenting.
Oh, my mom whooped my ass.
There you go.
No, I do feel like parenting plays a huge factor, 100%. You know what I'm saying? But you know, like there's levels to it. You know what I'm saying? Because like there's guys that I know who had wonderful mothers in their household.
Right.
You know, and the mothers did everything that they can. There was no father figure there, so the dudes on the block was that father figure.
Yeah.
And I don't know about y'all, but like at a certain age, I went to that phase where it's like, yo, I'm not listening to my mom, bro.
No.
Like you can't tell me how to be a man. I'm gonna do my own thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, and my mom did a wonderful job, bro. You know what I mean? So it has nothing to do. So it's like, I feel like yeah, parenting does play a factor, bro. But there's context and I feel like there's certain levels to that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but even with what I was saying with the drug dealer thing, like I seen dudes who were on the top, and I see when they got busted, when they came back. You know, they were driving like a 2000 and whatever car, and then came back, they had a hoopty for a little bit. And like, I see that reality, right? But these kids are not seeing when that person's not posting on Instagram.
yeah.
They're not seeing like those 6 pictures you saw were taken 3 months ago when they had a layover flight, but they really wasn't there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they don't know how to conceptualize. I think grown people are falling for those traps anyway. You know what I mean? And it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're about to wrap up. What you guys got down the pipeline? What you guys working on?
When is this gonna be posted?
Most likely this week.
This week.
This week.
We quick with it.
Okay. Well, I mean, if it's gonna be posted this week, this Saturday, there's an event going on that I think all people should come to. It's for Black History Month.
Reach out to Black Abundance. You know, shout out to Never Was Average.
It's at the Phi Center.
Yes.
That's gonna be dope. Panels, workshops, art, exhibits, food, vendors at the Phi Center, in the Old Port. It's called Black Abundance.
So if you go on the Never Was Average page, you should see it. Like, you just follow. Go on Ash's Instagram. Just go on our Instagram, actually.
Yeah, shout out to your Instagram. Say your Instagram.
Didn't you guys create the poster for that? I think I saw.
Yeah,
we did.
You did the artwork for it.
Yeah.
The artwork for that.
Yeah. So you can follow us on like Instagram. Our company's name, I Am Divvi. That's IAMDIVVI. You know, I Am Divvi. Follow us on Twitter as well. I Am Divvi or IamDivvi.com. You know, contact us for all your branding needs. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. All your social media tags will be on the post.
Oh, yo, that's dope. That's dope. That's
Definitely.
dope.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys coming on. You guys were our very first guests when we first started doing this. So, you know, come
Don't
back
wait
again.
too long again.
I know.
Bro.
Yeah, bro. I've been hitting up Lanky. I'm disappointed that Lanky's not here, bro.
So that means you got to come back soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back again, bro. You know what I mean? Shout out to Lanky stills.
Yeah, he couldn't make it, but he will be here next week.
Yes.
We're really happy to have you guys continue
thank
your
you.
journey.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Keep
really
up the great
appreciate
success
that.
and keep on doing what you guys do.
Keep on doing that positive shit, man.
Yeah.
You inspired me to
Yeah.
get in the gym.
Yeah, yo.
I'm about to
let's
hit
do
up
it.
Zoo soon. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, bro.
Yes.
Shout out to Zoo Fitness, the best trainer in the
Premium
motherfucking
torture.
city. You know what I'm
I
saying?
know.
But yeah, you should pull through, man.
I'm definitely trying to make the time.
You should
Like
hit him
within
up.
the next few months, I got some stuff I'm
Come
working
to
on.
some of the Health Our Way
Don't say
events.
that. Don't say that. The
I
best
think I'm
time
gonna
is
reach out to
now.
one of his community
the
workout
Health
things.
Our Way
I think I'm gonna
workouts
come through.
in the evenings, definitely.
I gotta get him too because I was talking to Grizzy about it.
Yeah, yo, get him on this.
Oh,
Yeah, I need to get him on
he's
that.
doing some great
Great
community
thing.
stuff with the youth.
Yeah, exactly. I like what he's doing with the youth. He's really.
But you see, this is what I love. You know what I mean? Like, all these people are doing positive things, bro.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So it's good to have this type of energy.
I
come full
think I'm
circle.
gonna reach out to Travis, to Satiz,
Yeah.
try to get a
Yes.
couple people.
Yeah, man.
That's our goal this year is to reach out to people who are making positive, impacts in their community.
Yeah,
So,
man. Shout out to all of them, man.
definitely. But don't be a stranger, guys.
No, for sure not.
Anytime
sure
you
not.
guys got anything promoted, even if you guys want to just come back and kick it.
No,
Yeah,
for sure,
for sure.
So, yo,
Alright.
thank y'all, man.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. It was a great episode. You know where to find us on social media.
Yeah, Don't Be Mad Pod, Don't Be Mad Podcasts on Facebook. Don't Be Mad Pod on Instagram, Twitter,
YouTube.
Don't Be Mad Podcast. Look for us there. Subscribe. It helps us out a lot. And
share. You know what I mean?
Yeah, share this episode.
Remember, treat each other with kindness, man. Love is love. We out.
All right, take care, everyone.